Welcome back. You're watching RT International. We're glad to say we've got Marko Gasic back. He's an international affairs commentator, and he can talk to us now about the latest situation in Belarus. Because, Marko, before we found out we didn't have a good line with you, we were just mentioning that the opposition leader, Svetlana Tikhanovskaya, had fled to Lithuania. I wanted to know, did you feel that this would actually impact on her support back home?
Well, she's taken steps to make sure it doesn't, because she's quoting what all populations like to hear, that she did it for the sake of her children, and everyone cares about children. So this is the message that she feels will make sure her population, her support at home remains constant. But in my opinion, she's actually gone to Lithuania in order to be able to have a secure conversation on a secure line, which she can't be overheard on, most probably from the US embassy in Vilnius, the capital of Lithuania. So she's basically gone to Lithuania to have a discussion, to negotiate real support from the US administration for an extended post-election campaign of civil disobedience, to put it mildly. So that's what I think she's doing. I think the Americans will play hard to get. They'll tell her how hard it is, how they don't want to drive Belarus into the arms of, or Lukashenko into the arms of Russia. And once she promises everything to them in return for her support, then she'll have her orders as well from Washington, most probably from Mike Pompeo, because it will be important for her to understand that she's been appointed at the highest level in Washington, and that therefore there's no backing out of any deal that she reaches through that discussion.
Yeah, that's, I mean, a very interesting analysis. We shouldn't forget, though, that she's a novice, isn't she, in terms of politics. Would she really be going to such a high level so soon to try and get support?
I think that she will now that she's got this world media profile. She suddenly becomes interesting for people like Pompeo, where previously he wouldn't have had the time of day for her. She's also, as you say, a novice, so fairly a weak position that she's in, and she will be being moulded into being a puppet very effectively by the Americans, who've done it so often before. We've seen it in the Ukraine, we've seen it in Serbia. It's always the same kind of pattern. You've got rent-a-mob in the city centre, you've got the dictatorial-looking efforts at repression, but we also see that in the Ukraine. Yanukovych tried a soft approach to city centre disturbances, and Lukashenko is clearly not going to make the same mistake, as he's already signalled. And we see already that his opponents are taking shape in the city centre in Belarus, in Minsk, in the shape of a rather tough-looking hoodlums who seem to be from the same style as Belgrade and Kiev previously.
OK, well, what we do know is that Tikhanovskaya has asked her supporters not to confront the police. Do you think we'll see violence calm down in Belarus?
I think that the calm does not suit the agendas of certain external players. I mean, the American interest, Washington's interest, to be more accurate, will be a failed state, another failed state on Russia's borders, hopefully with Russia getting the blame for the situation. The Americans will certainly want the Belarusian population to be alienated from any talk of unity with Russia. So what they really want is for this situation to get worse, not better, certainly in the short and medium term. I don't know what the Belarusian population will get out of that, because the Ukrainian and Serbian populations didn't get too much out of their regime changes, and I don't think Belarus will be any luckier.
OK, and just lastly, Marko, what do you predict that Lukashenko will do next?
Well, he's tried to win Western approval by taking an anti-Putin position, and it has, to some extent, protected him so far. I think once he realizes that he's considered as the old guard, he doesn't talk the COVID talk, he doesn't walk the Corona walk, he does his own thing, he's not their man, he realizes that his position is in jeopardy, and I think he will try possibly moving closer to Moscow. But certainly what he will definitely be doing is learning the lessons of past colour revolutions and not allowing his city centre to be taken over by a permanent presence which will ultimately delegitimise and destroy his own.
OK, fascinating analysis. Marko, good to talk to you this afternoon. That's Marko Gasic, international affairs commentator. Thank you.